Hey everybody, welcome to day 2. You made it through. I'm so proud of you. I am really excited for today's topic. We're going to dig a little deeper on the topic of meditation and a mindfulness practice. But before we get into that, I want to check in with the crew we have here tonight and just kind of see what's on your mind, how things are going. If there are things that you have questions about or you want clarifications on, whether it's the recipes or the supplements or any kind of regimen or practice that you've started, I'm here for it. This is your time and your chance to use me. So I'm going to start off with Chelsea.
Hi.
Holler.
So I'm doing good. I'm actually in the process of making eggplant and pumpkin risotto. So you might hear a little bit of background noise because I'm cooking, but I'm feeling good. I'm a little tired today. I took a pretty long nap this afternoon because I was having some trouble, but I think that is just because I'm cutting out sugar. So I'm having a little bit of a sugar headache. I haven't had much today, rather, other than what's in my fruit. I've been craving fruit all day, which tells me that I'm probably craving sugar.
Yeah.
So.
Well, depends on all that fruit, girl.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it. So I'm just kind of consuming as needed. I had a little bit this morning. I'm excited about eggplant. So that's
nice.
That's where we're at right now.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to dig a little deeper and ask you some questions.
Go ahead.
That was real surface level. We got to get deep.
All right.
All right. So you're saying that you have symptoms of a headache, right?
Yes.
So prior to this experience, what would be like a typical day for you as far as your nutrition goes that you would be now detoxing from?
Like I said, probably the sugar. Today I also haven't had any caffeine. I didn't go to the gym, so I didn't take any pre-workout. So I'm feeling really, really lethargic.
Yeah.
My stomach isn't feeling so hot.
Okay.
So yeah, those are like the big things. And I'm pretty sure that it's probably because of the sugar and the caffeine.
Okay.
Because those are pretty standard.
Like inside your coffee or like
sugar, like animal crackers, like refined sugars.
Okay.
Sweets, stuff like that. And then what's in my pre-workout is like this synthetic stuff. So it's like sucralose or something of the sort.
Yeah.
Which gives me like that sucralose gives me like major sugar cravings. They say it's not supposed to, but it does.
Yeah. Sugar is hidden in 60 different names on our labels, so it's really easy to miss it.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. How does it feel working out without the pre-workout?
I haven't done it yet. So we'll find out tomorrow morning when I go. So that'll be a topic of conversation for tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be very interesting. I haven't worked out without pre-workout in a very, very long time.
Interesting. What if I give you a recommendation to eat a Honeycrisp apple before your workout? Would you try it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited to hear how it goes.
Yeah, I have apples in my fridge right now, actually. I have really big ones, so that'll be perfect.
Perfect. Okay, Jill. You're up.
Hello. Okay. So I would say today was better. I did not have a headache today.
Yeah.
I started to get a little one this afternoon, but I never had one like I had yesterday. I had the steel cut oats again this morning, which I really love, and I'm sad that I don't have any more made for tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to get some more. So when I went to the store, I didn't buy like the container of steel cut oats. They had some in my store that were like pre-made, and I took the easy way out and bought those. So I need to go get some more because I really love those. So I'll probably make some old-fashioned oats tomorrow, and make them the same way as I had today and yesterday with the coconut in them and the blueberries, because I really love them and I actually don't miss my eggs at all. I really just love the oatmeal.
I'm so glad.
I had oranges as a snack and almonds as a snack and the banana. So I added more in than yesterday, like we talked about, because I needed more to eat instead of starving myself basically like I did yesterday.
Yeah.
I had the vegan grain bowl to eat for dinner, which I really enjoyed. More than I thought. I was really apprehensive because I don't usually throw the hummus in my food. So I don't eat that way on a normal basis. And so I was a little apprehensive about adding that in. But it was better than I thought. And then instead of having spaghetti squash for lunch, I'm not a big fan of spaghetti squash. So I found some chickpea pasta at the store and had that with some low sugar spaghetti sauce for lunch. And I really like that. My husband, we had that for dinner last night and I took leftovers for lunch. And I was a little worried that the chickpea pasta would be terrible, but it's actually really good. And I think going forward, even after that, we'll probably continue to eat the chickpea pasta because it's actually better than the regular pasta we've had before. It's like a little chewier, and I actually really like that.
Good for you too.
Yeah, for sure. And I have a history. When I was pregnant with both of my kids, I had gestational diabetes. So just personally for me, like going forward in my life, I have to watch and be careful to not get full-blown diabetes. So for me, any way that I can cut out refined carbs in my diet is a good thing. So that has been a win to discover something different. I had the lemon water this morning.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last night, I had lemon at work. And so I had that this morning. It was pretty tasty. I have never had that before. So I did enjoy that. I'll have that going forward for the rest of the week. I've done my supplements. That has been going fine. I'm not as tired tonight. I'm feeling better than I did last night of not being tired. So I feel pretty good, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super happy to hear that.
And I stayed off my phone until about 9 o'clock this morning. I realized I haven't been on the internet until like 9 o'clock, which was a nice change.
That is so amazing. That makes me so happy. Yeah, no, I know you shared some podcasts or that you liked to listen to podcasts yesterday, and I shared in the email that went out last night. But do you have any that you want to share with the group that maybe we could listen to while we're in the shower too?
I would love that.
Well, I'm a crime junkie, so mine tend to be a little probably darker. So I don't know if anybody likes those kind of
I love true crime
ones. Okay.
I'm here for it. She's all in.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've listened to like Dr. Death. That's a really good one. Oh my gosh. I'll have to think about him as we talk, but Dr. Death was really good. It's about like a chiropractor. No, he's not a chiropractor. He's a back surgeon who does really terrible things to people. So if you really like that one, that was a really good one. Oh my gosh, I just listened to a good one about a shrink who manipulates people, this guy into doing things. Yeah, I'll have to think about it as we're talking. But if you like reality TV, like Little People, Big World, I listen to Jeremy and Audrey Roloff's podcast that comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Man, I'm terrible about remembering things off the top of my head, but I listen to theirs it's good about like relationships, and they've only been married like 5 years and they're quite a bit younger than I am, but they talk about their new book that just came out, and oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember the name, but I'll try to remember as we talk. But yeah, I listen to a lot of crime stuff.
Nice.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A little escape, right?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. Okay. So today I just wanted to chat for a few minutes about a mindfulness practice. If you are someone who already has like a routine that you like are pretty religious about, and it's something you practice every day or at least every other day, then hats off to you. But if you're watching the replay and you are thinking to yourself like, oh no, This is far too woo-woo for me, and it's over my head, and I'm not gonna ever be like Buddha and sit with my legs crossed, and this just isn't for me. I invite you to just listen, give it a shot, and become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And sometimes through the healing process, and we touched a little bit on this yesterday with Jill about how sometimes we hang on to, excess weight, or we have certain aches and pains in our body that really are emotional pain and scars and things that we're holding on to because we can't let go. We don't know how to let go. And sometimes it can be something as simple as tuning into your own breath and listening to your subconscious and leaning into the things that feel uncomfortable. And so I'm hoping tonight, as I share with you someone that I admire, that I'm friends with in real life, not just on the internet, but that I have learned so much from in the last 5 years. And her website has a few of her Kundalini practices from when from back in the day, but her studio's in DC. But I would suggest, in whatever area you live in, like in Missouri, Chelsea knows of a studio here, just finding a either Kundalini or some other form of meditation group that you can be a part of through maybe the summer, and just try it out for a season so that you can dedicate your time to really learning the practice. And that way you can then translate that to doing it at home every day and not feel like you have to invest a ton of money in a studio. For myself, I do it every single day at home. I have a little sheepskin in my closet that I hop on first thing in the morning. But I love to go to studios at least once a week, just to fill my cup and be with other people. There's an added sense of accountability, but there's also healing in numbers, right? Being together with a bunch of people that are like-minded, heart-centered, focused on the same things, which is healing. And we're all open to receive that education and just the instruction, right? The instruction from the divine or the presence that you feel within yourself. So I'm going to show you my friend and her website. So give me a second here as I share the screen. You can hop on there, and I'll put her website in the email that goes out tonight. But you can hop on here and see just a number of her different types of meditation. So if you are just wanting something free that you can get your hands on, that's really easy and takes the guesswork out, and maybe you want to try this out when you're alone in your room and no one's around, this would be the perfect website to go to. If you're in a public place, I would probably suggest doing something more from the Insight app. If you guys have other suggestions, please share. But the Insight app is one that I have on my phone that's so great. It has, oh my gosh, tons and tons of different meditations. You can pay to have more advanced meditations, but they have a whole slew of ones that are free for beginners and for more experienced meditation gurus and things like that. Okay, so today we're actually going to practice one called Calm Heart. And again, you don't have to sit in this position. If you're sitting in a chair, I would just ask that you sit towards the edge of the seat with your feet flat on the ground. And if you're not in a position to sit right now, sorry, I'm going to mute you. If you're not in a position to sit right now and be quiet and be still, then just follow along with us and listen. And then you can watch the recording later and go through the practice for the first time. So I'm going to play this. And I'm going to need to know if you can hear it, though. So let me unmute someone. Let's see. I'm going to unmute.
Hi, guys.
Jill, can you hear it?
I want to teach you.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, great.
Called Meditation for a Calm Heart.
I'm
I
gonna
feel like we
allow
could all
Joanna
use
to
a little extra
for a
help
few
with
minutes.
that these days. And literally this morning, my puppy ran out of our front gate and without a leash on, and down the street, and the whole neighborly circus to try and get him back into the house, which eventually happened. We all tried to remain calm, but I could really use this practice as much as maybe you can. So I wanted to share it with you. It's really simple. It's a great one to do
You with me still?
Yes. I couldn't hear her.
You couldn't?
No, but that's okay. I'm sure when I go back, I'll be able to hear it.
Shoot. Well, I'll share her website too, in the email. That way.
It started like I could, and then she cut out like mid.
Yeah, same for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, sometimes technology is not on our side.
No, it's all right.
But the good news is that I'll send the link and you can go and watch it. And it's so simple, an act of just intentionally breathing and having a space and a time where you can do that. Every single time I feel overwhelmed with my kids, this is the practice that I pull out on my phone. And it's so easy. It's just, as she said, like plugging to your heart to be calm. It's the act of actually doing it, like taking that time, tuning in, feeling your breath, doing it on purpose, like breathing in deep, hold it, breathe out deep, hold it. That act of going in and out and not just mindlessly going through your day is going to bring you back to a state of homeostasis as far as emotional health goes. And this hormonal health reset has everything to do with these little tiny things. People think that you can just wave a magic wand and take a magic pill and everything's going to go away and it's just going to be fine. But it's really the tiny little building blocks that create the type of health and lifestyle and body and all of it that you want. And for me, this is definitely one of them. This is probably at the top of the list. And each of the days that we discuss and have a Q&A, I'm sharing them in order of importance to me. So things that I have found to be really relevant in my healing process. Lemon water yesterday, super important. Today, my meditation practice. I am someone who, through my DNA, is more prone to having anxiety. And it's like my great grandma, my grandma, my mom, and me. And I've been the only one who is willing to be uncomfortable and more awakened on the topic so that I don't just mindlessly live my life with anxiety. And now that I'm so aware of it and that I know when it's coming on and I can feel it coming on, I can acknowledge my triggers and manage my symptoms by different practices that I incorporate. I now see my grandmother and my mom so differently. I can see their anxiety coming on and I can see the ways that they've managed it. And they manage it with things that I am uncomfortable with. And one of them is like anger or lashing out or just being flat out bitchy, for lack of a better term. And I want to be a kind person that sheds light and people come to me and want to be my friend because I am a positive influence in their life. And that's not to say that you have to be like super optimistic and half glass full every single day. But what it does do is it provides opportunities for other people to feel light and spread light. And I was in a meditation practice, I don't know, like a week or two ago, that the instructor was talking about how one person with an open heart can affect thousands of people, right? Like simple, just walking by someone and smiling. Like the other day I had kind of a hard morning with my kids and I was rushing to get them to school and I felt like the world was just harsh. Everything is harsh when you're in a rush and kids aren't listening. And so I was rushing to get them to school on time and get them out the car door and I'm like getting their backpacks and throwing them on and running into the school and there was a woman like opening the gate who was obviously not in a rush and had a very calm morning. And she just looked me right in the eye and gave me a smile. I've never seen this woman. We've probably passed by each other every single day of the school year, but I'd never seen her before. And she's not my friend. Like, I don't know her, but she just was open enough to give me that smile. And I kid you not, it changed the trajectory of my entire day. And so those little tiny acts of kindness can really make an impact on other people. And the same goes for the negativity. I learned that having, a negative moment, let's say I was to walk by that woman and instead of responding with a smile, maybe I responded with like a scowl and like a resting biatch face, and I was just mean to her in response. Then maybe she would have taken that like, oh, like what's wrong with her, right? And then maybe that would have infiltrated the rest of her day and how she behaved. And then all the people that she comes in contact with at Starbucks or at a red light or wherever, she is now transmitting that negativity. And so by having a daily meditation practice, not only does it benefit you, your mental health, your family's mental state, right? Everyone is at the whim and equilibrium of their mother, right? How mom shows up is how the rest of the family shows up that day. And so if you are grounded and you are living with intention and focused on the things that are most important to you, and if that thing that's most important to you is you, then that's a step in the right direction, because we can get really overwhelmed as women in all the to-dos and all the things that we should be doing. We like to should on ourselves all the time. And my soon-to-be former spouse and I have very much adopted the term of like, no, we don't use shoulds and we don't use woulds, because those kinds of terms and that terminology it just puts a lot of pressure on someone. It makes us feel shame. It makes us feel guilty for not accomplishing the things we should have. And if just focusing on ourselves and our own health is the one thing that we kind of narrow in on for the day, then that's a win. Everything else is mac and cheese, which is not that great, right? So, especially craft. Anyway, the point is, and I hope that you have been able to hear my heart, that I want to challenge you to pick up a meditation practice today. So don't feel nervous if this is your first time. I want you to get on to Wandering Wellness's website, Joanne, the woman I just showed you, and choose one of those. And the nice thing about Kundalini is that even though it may seem like something totally new to you and a little outside your comfort zone, there are some physical movements that go along with each meditation to kind of trigger the brain and our central nervous system to release and to let go. So one of my favorite meditations, I've got to put a plug in for this one on her website, is called Fists of Anger. So when you are feeling anxious/angry, for me, they go hand in hand. I would challenge you to practice that. Go in your closet, because you're going to look crazy the first time you're doing it. But get into your closet, get into your quiet space, or close your bedroom door and get that fist of anger on and release that anger that's pent up inside of you and just let it go. I want to be your accountability partner. So if you're like, I don't know if I can do this, text me. If you don't have my number, I'll put it in the email. I want you to know you always have someone by your side who is willing to go through this with you, even when it's super uncomfortable. Okay, our time's up for tonight. Do you have any questions about your homework?
Well, no. But I do want to tell Jill that you opening up about your day was way better than mine. It gives me some homework to do better tomorrow, talking about my food. But no, I think that's a pretty straightforward and easy homework assignment for tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Jill, do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions.
All right, ladies, I'm going to tackle this laundry.
Good luck.
And just be thinking about you and wishing you a nice, smooth meditation practice, and get rid of all that crap that's going on in your head and allow space for healing. That's what we're going to do this week.
Sounds good.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.